Hi everybody, let us crochet a bee together. We're going to need some black yarn, some yellow yarn, some white yarn, some cotton stuffing, as well as a crochet hook. That's a 2mm crochet hook, a sewing needle, a pair of scissors. Let's get started. So first of all, we're going to use our yellow yarn. We're going to make a magic circle. So here I did 6 single crochets. I'm also going to show you what it looks like from above so that it's more clear and it will be easier to follow. As you can see here, I'm continuing with my single crochets all around. I'm gonna grab that little piece of yarn and I'm gonna pull it so that it's tighter and it can form a circle. And from there on, I am going to look at the first loop that I made and I'm going to go through it and pull my yarn all the way through to my last loop. And from here onwards, I am going to do 2 single crochets in all the loops so that I can make the circle a little bit larger. And then from there on, after I've gone around with 2 single crochets on each loop, I am going to continue with only just 1 single crochet in every loop so that I don't continue to enlarge, but I can grow now my little ball. You're going to see it's going to form a little ball once I am done. Now that I'm satisfied with the little ball, I'm going to add my black yarn for the stripes. It's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to go around the bee, the body of the bee, and I am going to do 2 rows of that black yarn. Once I am done with my 2 rows of black yarn, I am going to reintroduce my yellow yarn for another 2 rows and then again my black yarn. my black yarn, I am going to go again with my yellow yarn, and this time this will be my 2 final rows before I add some wool and I close off the bee's body. Satisfied with the body of the bee, I am now going to cut off the yarn that I don't need anymore. I'm going to just cut off the black yarn a little bit shorter because it's going to be stuffed into the bee afterwards, and I'm going to cut the yellow yarn a little bit longer, and you'll see why later. I'm also pulling the longer string of the yellow yarn so that I can just close off and stop the bee from unraveling. And here I'm just going to take a little bit of the wool that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to put it into the bee so that it holds its form. I'm even going to use my crochet hook because it is easier for me to stuff the wool with the crochet hook. And now to close off the body of my bee, I am going to use a needle. This is a bit larger than a traditional sewing needle, so I'm just gonna go in a kind of like zigzag motion around the bee, around the body of the bee, and afterwards I'm gonna be able to like just pull the string and it will close off the body of the bee. As shown here, all I have to do is now just pull the string, and I'm just going to go through the bee a little bit more just to ensure that what I've done does not unravel. Now that I have the form of the bee, the body of the bee, I think it is time for some wings. So I'm just going to take a little bit of white yarn. I'm going to do a magic circle once more to form the wings, and this time I also did 6 single crochets all around the magic circle, and that will help me get the round form of the wings. once I am done with my magic circle, I pull once more the shorter end of the string, and I am going to go into the first loop that I made with my single crochet and pull out the yarn entirely. And this time I'll just go around each chain once, and in only one of them am I going to do a double so that it's not too tight. Once I've securely pulled the strings of my wings, you can clearly see here, I think this is the perfect size for the bee. I've also made a second pair, so I'm gonna just take one side of the string and put it through my needle and then through the bee, and you'll see afterwards that I am going to securely attach them underneath the bee. As you see here, I pull the strings through the bee, and I will not pull them at the same place because I want to just tie them afterwards, and I'm just checking as well that the position of the wings is correct. I'm gonna now do the other side of the wing, and I will show you afterwards how I am going to tie them underneath the bee. Something is missing, so we're gonna try to put some eyes on the bee. So now I am just gonna try to make eyes for the bee. I'm just gonna put the needle through the bee. I'm not gonna do a specific knot so that the wool does not come out, because I think it's gonna hold. So I'm just gonna do like little bars like that for the eyes. Double. I'm just gonna double that on one side, and I will do the same thing on the other side as well.
I still feel like something is missing, so this time I'm going to add a little bit of blush to our bee. I am just going to take a little bit of pink yarn to help me do that. I am done with my little bee. It's a bit wonky, but I love it.